Hello and welcome to Super Boothers. My name is Ryan.
And I'm Ismail.
We're going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas.
I love going to Las Vegas.
I go far too often. I go like 2 times a month.
This is why you're a good person to get advice from on where to stay, what to do. So you actually just put out a guide online that people found very helpful.
I did Ryan's Guide to Vegas. It's on our blog at superboothers.com.
And for people who don't know why we're talking about Vegas, there's a big expo, a big conference for photo booth owners. If you haven't heard about it, you should look into it. It's worth going to. That's where we met. And that's coming up in March.
It was our first date.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So this episode is going to be for everyone that doesn't know what to do, doesn't know where to stay, doesn't know the ins and outs. Ryan's here. We're here to help.
And selfishly, I actually was going to ask you a lot of questions as well about what to do. So
fire away.
First thing is, as you know, the expo is at the Westgate Hotel. Now, a lot of people don't like the Westgate Hotel. I stayed there last year just because it was super convenient. What do you think about staying there?
So here are some of the places that I would stay at. This is the thing is I'm not. So it is. It's a Siegel property. I'm just not a huge fan of Siegel properties to begin with. I am a Starwood SPG member, and I love Starwood. Starwood does not have an amazing presence in Vegas, so that kind of is a little depressing.
Well, I was going to ask you about that too, because I recently became, focused on becoming a good Starwood member. They do have some hotels, some new hotels in Vegas. Are you saying they're not good, or they're too far off the strip?
I'm saying they're not convenient. So yes, there is a Westin. Yes, there is an Lofton Summerlin. Summerlin is far too far. They did have a Planet Hollywood affiliation, and whenever Starwood and Planet Hollywood were together, that was amazing. That went out the door pretty quickly. SPG had a tie-in with Total Rewards that literally just ended last year, so it's just not the best Starwood city to go to.
And with the merger with Marriott, and there's still not.
Stop! I will not talk about this right now. That is, oh my gosh.
Well,
hold on. Where's my Xanax?
I'm asking because I'm sure a lot of people going are Starwood members and they want to use their points. You're saying it's so inconvenient, it's probably not worth staying at a Starwood property.
Well, I will say this. So if it is your first time to Vegas, I wouldn't do Starwood. There is a decent Westin. I think it's off of Flamingo. It's great. It's on the east side of the strip, so it's really quick. It's like a 5-minute Uber to the Westgate. It's great. It's fine. It is a non-gaming hotel, and what I mean by non-gaming is whenever you walk into the lobby, you don't hear the ding, 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 dings of slot machines.
The problem with the Westgate is the location to me. It's really far from the strip. But personally, the price that the expo got people for rooms was dirt cheap. Like, I didn't really find.
Honey, there's a reason why stuff is on sale.
It was dirt cheap. So people who are concerned with price, I stayed there for the couple of days last year. I didn't think it was that bad, but it is off the strip, so that's a huge inconvenience. And this year, I was asking Ryan for advice because I kind of wanted to step it up and stay somewhere really nice. So in your guide, Ryan, you talked about this. It sounds like you're saying for people who really want to go all out and stay somewhere nice, you'd recommend the Wynn.
I love the Wynn, and actually, I just got a little thing in the mail. I got, I think, 3 free nights at the Wynn, which is just
what?
It's abysmal. It's sad. And Ismail was like, well, how did you get the free nights? I was like, do you know how much money I spend there? I mean, I gamble a lot. I gamble with my life. I gamble with my money. I gamble with having a monkey at an event. I gamble. I mean,
what do you play? Because we got to play together.
I play roulette if I just want to have a cocktail and just decompress and not really think about it. I play craps, but I only play craps after 11 p.m. because that's when I win.
So you're superstitious.
Very superstitious. If I'm not that big of a drinker, however, if I'm with a large group of people, I don't mind having, a champagne or two. And now that I actually haven't really drank in quite some time. I think in the last 3 years, I have been drunk maybe twice. And I mean like drunk, like who are you the next day? Like that kind of drunk. Like,
is that what's going to happen at the Boothover?
Hopefully, if everyone plays their cards correctly. Um,
Oh man.
so so what Ismail is referring to is we're doing our Super Boosters event. We're calling it the Boothover, and that is going to be at a fabulous suite at the MGM Grand. Tickets are available at superboosters.com if you would like to join us. There will be an open bar.
So that will make it number 4 of the drunk experiences for Ryan Salinas.
Yes, number 4. So, anyways, whenever it comes to hotels, I will say I enjoy the Wynn. It is just a fabulous hotel. Whenever you walk in, so the Wynn is comprised of 2 hotels, the Wynn and then the Encore. The Encore is right behind it. They technically share a lot of the same restaurants. If you actually have an opportunity, I would go to the SW Steakhouse. That is in the main Wynn, and it is just fabulous.
That's the one with the water, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so they have a lagoon, and in the lagoon, every 30 minutes there is an amazing show. They do one with the frog. They do one with it's very artful. And we were just talking about inspiration earlier, and it's just an experience, and that is just what I'll have to leave it as. In the main conservatory, they have in front of Chanel a carousel made entirely out of floral that was done by Preston Bailey, I think about 5 or 6 years ago. It is just a sight to see. It is an amazing hotel. I love it. If you have an opportunity, also in that hotel is the show Le Rêve. That was produced originally by Franco Dragone, who was originally tied to Cirque du Soleil. And then there was like a little falling out, and he kind of did his own thing after that. But it is just an amazing caliber of show. It is a water show. And if you would like to do Golden Circle, I highly recommend it. I think it's like 125 or 225 or something a ticket. You get 2 glasses of champagne, amazing seats. You get chocolate covered strawberries. And then you also get to see a live feed of what's happening underwater, which is just an experience. So if you have time, go do that.
So the reason I'm considering the Wynn is because it's all the way at the top of the strip. So it's closer to the Westgate than the other hotels, correct?
Yes. Do not stay at the Stratosphere. It is just far too far.
And the Wynn also has the steakhouse that you're referring to. So if I wanted to splurge a little bit, the Wynn seems like a good hotel, and also they have this restaurant that you really recommend to have. So if you want a Vegas dinner, you're saying that that's the place to go.
Absolutely. I love SW Steakhouse. I love Bartolotta. It is just an amazing seafood place. Literally, whatever you order was breathing in the Mediterranean 12 hours prior.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
They fly stuff in every single day. It is just, there is no better. Are you going to spend money? Absolutely.
So can you talk a little bit about like how much, let's say you have a dinner, how much is it going to be roughly?
Well, I think we went to SW Steakhouse. There were 4 of us. Maybe $600.
So that's not that bad. I mean, for Vegas to have the best dining experience. The thing is,
I don't think we really drank. Maybe there was like 2 cocktails and an appetizer or 2 in there. So it wasn't like we're drinking nonstop. But it was actually, so there were 3 of us. We went to Morimoto at the MGM Grand, and we had 1 round of cocktails each. We ordered everything on the menu. That was like $750.
Wow. I'm not going there.
It was comped. That's the only reason why we did it. But
in something like the SW Steakhouse, you said that you recommend reserving early. Is it something that you have to really reserve that far in advance?
So this is the thing. If you're someone, you don't have to reserve early. If you are not someone, you need to put in your reservation in Open Table like today. And the only reason why I say that is because if you go there and they see that you have had your reservation for months and you ask to be put out on the patio, they'll do it. Because they recognize that you have had this reservation for quite some time and you're not just someone walking in the door.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying that basically you want to have dinner with me there while we're out there. That's what it's going to happen.
Sure.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I like playing blackjack. So you didn't mention that as part of your games. My wife is a roulette player.
Yes.
And I don't really like playing craps unless I have a crowd, like a group of friends that I'm there with.
It is so much fun to do with a group of friends. Like I can't wait.
Yeah, otherwise, if you're going by yourself and trying to get into a group, you have to find a good group. I don't know. It's
no,
kind of...
and then if there's like a crappy roller, I mean, it gets to be far too much.
Yeah.
So the other hotels that I recommend would be the Venetian. The Venetian is on the east side of the Strip, so it's again pretty close to, pretty easy to get to the Westgate. Anyways, the Venetian.
and that's
Go ahead.
and that's one of the sorry that's one of the favorite my favorite places to walk through. Like, speaking of like being inspired, I just like the way they designed the whole interior. It's very European feel. I really like that. I didn't see the rooms. I don't know how that is, but I think you were going to
Yeah,
say
it's an
something about the
yeah,
rooms.
it's an all suite hotel. I think there's something crazy like 40% larger than any standard room in Vegas or something like that. Every room has its own separate sitting area, separate from the bedroom. The it is just amazing. I particularly love the Palazzo. They have a couple of different types of suites there. It's just an amazing experience.
But you'd still pick the Win over that, even though they have bigger rooms.
Yeah.
Wow.
I just
Okay.
I just love the wind. That's just me. If you are traveling on a budget, I would recommend the Link. The Link is it was the old, actually it was called the Quad before that, and then prior to that it was the old Imperial Palace. It has been completely redone, and actually the last time I was in Vegas, that I actually stayed at a hotel, I stayed at the Link, and I really enjoyed it. We had a couple of problems. And they were able to accommodate stuff rather quickly, so I really enjoyed the Link. The rooms have all been redone. They're all fun. They're all younger. One of the things that I really, really, really love is the concierge text messages you. So the cool thing is, like, let's say like you need two pillows. All you do is just text message, "Hey, I need two pillows," and two pillows magically show up.
Wow.
That
That's really cool because it shows you how in tune with the clientele they are.
Yeah, it's absolutely younger, and that was one of the things I really appreciated. And anything goes wrong, they really do fix it. It is right next to the High Roller, and the High Roller is the big gigantic Ferris wheel. If you can go to the concierge, and I believe that they'll, if you like, just be nice. They give you like some sort of discount to go on the High Roller. And that's the thing. If you do experience any problems in Vegas, you catch more flies with honey. And if you're just really sweet and I'm so sorry, I really hate to do this,
Yeah.
but la la la, they will go out of their way. Vegas is meant to make everybody happy. So if anything goes wrong,
Yeah.
you'll likely get
And
like something more if you're just nicer.
so it sounds like a general recommendation, not only that you have, but a lot of people seem to have, is that they rather stay on the Strip away from Westgate. So if someone does do that, would you recommend, like, I haven't really used the monorail before. I know a lot of people used that last time. Would you recommend using an Uber or Lyft, or is monorail okay?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. If you're on the east side of the Strip, the monorail is absolutely easier to do because it runs almost the entire length. So it's easy. Like if you're staying at the MGM Grand, it's easy for you to hop on and get to Westgate that way than it is if you're staying
Hmm.
at Bellagio, because then you're at Bellagio, you have to walk across the street, and that's going to take some time. It's just too much. So at that point, if you're on the west side of the Strip, just take an
And
Uber.
approach,
I mean, because crossing Vegas Boulevard is just not fun.
but there's probably a lot of congestion though when there's a big conference like that. Is there? It's probably not as easy to get
No,
Ubers.
no, not really. No, 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 no. There's only congestion whenever. Keep in mind, there's always conferences. So, for example, the only thing you really have to worry about is citywides, and that's like CES that just happened right now, the technology conference. So, whenever CES is in town, Vegas is just a flipping madhouse.
So a little pro tip, at least from my experience last time, I actually had a lot more success with Lyft. It seems like Lyft has a bigger presence in Vegas than Uber, and not only that, they were a little lower priced too. So, and
Hmm.
usually there's always these offers. We'll probably throw a link up on the show notes where you get some kind of discount for your first few rides or whatever if you haven't used it before. But I really, and even talking to the drivers, a lot of drivers I spoke to do both, and they also preferred Lyft for some reason. So when I'm in Vegas, I use Lyft. In New York City, I stick with Uber. I think it depends on where you are, but in my experience, Lyft was way better in Vegas.
I generally have always kind of had a car, but I've never had a problem with Uber. I don't think I've ever taken a Lyft in Vegas.
Well, that's something I guess people can play around with. I played around with it, and I just found that it was cheaper and it was easier and quicker to get a ride.
Huh.
And I think I looked it up after the fact, and it just seemed like they had a bigger presence there. So, but yeah, I use both. Whatever is a better option, I do that. Now, what about entertainment? Because I know in your article you mentioned a couple shows. Uh,
Yeah, so I love, 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 love. It's at Cirque du Soleil at the Mirage. It is the Beatles show, so it is all Beatles themed music. I have taken people that do not care for the Beatles and say that that show was flipping amazing.
I actually thought about going to see that one, but I didn't know if non-Beatles fans would appreciate it because I stayed in the
Absolutely.
Mirage, and that's in the Mirage. I went to a different Cirque du Soleil show at the MGM Grand. I forgot what it was called. Something with a C. I don't know if you know it, but I actually didn't like it.
Talk about Ka.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
That's a K.
Oh, with a K. Sorry. Have you seen that one?
At MGM. Yeah, that's amazing. I love the aerial straps. Actually, I'm really like super into all things circus, so much so that I'm taking Lyra hoop classes right now.
Oh God.
Like I really do want to like quit doing photo booths and just join the circus. Like I'm not even joking.
Anyways, I'll let that. I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there.
I
Yeah.
really do enjoy Seven Magic Mountains too. And that is a free thing to do. All you do is just get in the car and drive 30 minutes south on I-15. And it is just an amazing sight to see. I mean, you go during the day and you just have an Instagram fest.
I think that's something that people ask. Like everyone's going to Vegas, they want to find one entertainment thing to do, one show that's worth it. To each his own. I didn't really like Ka. Actually, my whole group of friends that I was there with kind of fell asleep. I loved the
Really?
Michael. Yeah, everyone kind of fell asleep. It was kind of cool. They were going up and down. It was interesting, but I don't know. And for people that haven't gone to Cirque du Soleil show, there's not really talking. It's just acrobatics and stuff. So I don't know. I didn't really enjoy that one that much, but I loved the Michael Jackson one. I went to that one twice.
And every one of those shows is a different show. So if you've seen that show before
Yeah.
and you go see it again, it's a completely different show.
They had a different main dancer, and I sat in a different area, and I got a different kind of viewpoint of the whole thing was a different experience.
Yeah,
So
that's just great.
if you're a Michael Jackson fan, you must see that show, in my opinion. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
And that one's at Mandalay Bay.
Yeah.
I checked. Celine Dion's not playing, which is depressing because I love Celine Dion. J Lo is not playing. That's a little depressing. Britney just finished her residency, so that's not fun. Lady Gaga hasn't started yet. I mean, so I don't think that there's like a lot of big names that are in town.
Oh,
I
no.
think maybe Cher or Elton, one of the two. I can't confirm that. But yeah, you might have some luck with some of those shows.
No, it's hard. It's actually, I remember sitting down and trying to figure out where to go. There's so much stuff going on. There's so much entertainment. It's kind of hard to pick. Is there any comedy that you recommend, or you don't really go to comedy over there?
I mean, if you want to go see comedy, just go to the blackjack table and see Ismail lose a lot of money, and that's pretty funny.
I don't know about losing a lot of money, but I will do my best to entertain you.
That'll happen for sure. So restaurants. So one of the restaurants I really enjoy that is so much fun is at the Cosmo, and not many people know about it. It is called Secret Pizza, and there are not that many pizza places on the strip that are pretty good. This one is pretty legit. So it's at the Cosmo. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the restaurant side of the hotel, and that's closest to the strip. There is a big red shoe on the first floor. If you see the shoe, you're in the right area. So just go up the escalators all the way to the third floor. You're going to see Chandelier Bar, and that's a 3-story chandelier. It is the coolest thing ever. Whenever you get up to the third floor, when you get off the escalators, behind you is going to be STK, which is a great restaurant. And then in front of you is going to be Jaleo. On the left of Jaleo, there's a hallway. And it's narrow, but it's narrow by Vegas standards because hallways in Vegas are generally gigantic. This one is, I mean, it's a regular hallway. Go all the way down the hallway. You'll see a whole bunch of records and pictures on the wall. At the end, you'll see like some pinball machines. Go all the way down there, and then you've hit the pizza place. It is, nobody knows about it. It is unmarked. It is the most amazing thing. I love things about Vegas that are just like very hidden and speakeasy type.
No, absolutely. And is that like, that's not for a dinner? That's more of a snack pizza place?
Yeah, it's a snack thing.
I'm definitely going to hit that up. That's another, I'm excited to go to Vegas this time because I went twice last year. Those are my first 2 times out there. But this time I'm going with Ryan. And Ryan has spent a lot of time in Vegas, if you can't tell with all this advice. I'm looking forward to seeing all these other things that I didn't see before.
So here's another hidden tip that only kind of you'll get from a Vegas person is at the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino is Mr. Lucky's 24/7 cafe. So what you do is you order the 777. It's off the menu. It's not on the menu. They give you a flat iron steak cooked to order. Comes with grilled. comes with grilled shrimp, um, mashed potatoes, and a salad for $7.77.
What?
Yes,
That's crazy. How does that make sense?
that's a big tip. Big tip. It's just one of those Vegas
So you know what
things.
that brings to mind? Is there any buffet? Because when I was there last time, my friends all wanted to like try the different buffets, and this buffet is the best buffet. That hotel has the best buffet. Do you recommend any buffets?
Yes. So I like the buffet at Caesar's Palace. I think the buffet at Bellagio is
That's the one that I
okay.
went to, the Bellagio, and people
Um,
really recommended that one. And and
it's
just so
all
people
right.
understand, like we were going to these popular buffets, and there was like a 40-minute wait. Like people go
Yeah,
specifically for certain buffets. So
sure. What I would really suggest doing is if you have the opportunity, there's the M Resort and Casino about 20 minutes south of the strip. So, for example, if you are going to Seven Magic Mountains, it's on the way. I would recommend that buffet. It is a local casino, so you'll get like a lot of locals there, and they really take good care of their people. I really enjoy that buffet.
do you recommend going to what is it called? Old Vegas? The
Ugh, I hate downtown. It just smells like a disgusting foot covered in pee. I mean, it's fine. Truthfully, they have fried Oreos there. So if you're drunk and you really want like some fried Oreos or fried Twinkie or just something disgusting, I mean, it is there, and it's just delightfully horrible. I
I
guess I
haven't
don't
been
know.
there, but some
I
people.
don't I don't enjoy, I don't enjoy going down there. I will say I was forced to go to the Golden Nugget down there, and it's fine. It's been redone. Whatever. I mean, it is what it is. But it is not going to be my first choice
Yeah,
to
that's
go.
something.
Don't get me wrong. Don't, and that's another thing is I really shouldn't say that just because they are trying to revitalize downtown. They actually have a zip line called Slotzilla. So if you want to like do something adventurous, strap that thing in and go flying down. Take a GoPro with you. I mean, whatever. That'll be fun. There are things to do down there. I don't particularly care to do those things, but that's just me. I will say this. So one of the biggest things that I really appreciate, I've been coming to Vegas since I was 7. My grandparents took me on my first trip. We drove to the Grand Canyon. We went to Colorado. We were gone for like Lord knows how long, like 4 weeks or something like that, and we went to Vegas. And one of the funniest things that happened was I did some research back then, which I don't know how I did it because the internet didn't exist. However, I know that I wanted to stay at Circus Circus. Granted, it was brand new back then. And I knew that they had like arcades and they had rides and they had like all sorts of fun stuff. So I really wanted to stay there. My grandfather is notorious for not making reservations. And to the point where I guess that's where I get it from, where we'll just do it later. I mean, that's incredibly where I get it from. So we went and got to Circus Circus. My grandfather goes, "I'd like a room, please," and she goes, "I'm so sorry, we're fully committed." And then of course my grandmother gets pissed off because, well, you didn't do this, and la 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 la, and that it was just really funny back then, and she still does it to this day. So nothing really does change. However, she said, "Well, do you know if there's any other hotels in the area that have rooms available?" And she goes, "There's a conference in town. You're not going to find anything." And this was before like Expedia, where you just go on your phone, go to hotels tonight, make a reservation, ta-da, you're done. No, none of that. My grandfather, we walked across the street to a travel lodge.
What?
And my grandmother was furious. And I mean, we ended up getting like a decent room, and it was brand new back then. I went to Vegas about, I think, 6 months ago, and that travel lodge was still standing. It was a little depressing because I think there was like someone giving birth in a car, and there was like a crackhead shooting up, and I mean, it's just not a great place now.
Sounds
However,
like a good family spot.
lovely family spot. I took a photo in front of that, and I gave it to my grandmother as like a joke. She goes, "I was so pissed at your grandfather." La 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 la. So it's just really funny. So I have been going to Vegas for quite some time now, and I remember whenever I got there, I was 7 years old. I'll never forget it. I said, "What are those things?" Which were slot machines, and my grandfather goes, "Oh, you put money in them. You pull the lever a couple times, and then you can win money if like it hits like whatever." 777 or whatever. I was like, great. I can't wait to do it. He's like, well, you can't. Not until you're 21. What?
Ouch.
So ever since then, I've just been obsessed with Vegas. Vegas is my town. I really enjoy it. There are some people that hate it, and that's fine. It is entirely just a man-made thing. I really appreciate the history of Vegas. And one thing that I would really encourage everyone to do is take some time out. Stop what you're doing, stop gambling, stop spending money, stop going to restaurants, stop doing all this stuff, and take a trip to the Neon Museum. It is off the strip. They do, I think, something crazy like 20 tours a day, and they are still booked out, and you still have to book it in advance. I would
Tours of what?
Tours. So the Neon Museum is a collection of old Vegas signs that have been restored. I always recommend going at night. It is one of the most magical things that you will ever see. It is just tells the history of how Vegas was created and how Vegas became just the monstrosity that it is now, and just how the city has really progressed. You will see the original Moulin Rouge Vegas sign, and actually with the way how the font was created, it looks like it says love. And it is just great how the woman that did it, which funny enough, women didn't design stuff back then. So for a woman to design something, she actually designed it the day before it was supposed to be made. And she essentially created a font before creating a font was even a thing. So it's just an amazing experience. You will see the original Stardust sign. You will see the Sahara sign. You will see the Yucca Hotel. There's a jackpot sign. You'll see Binion's Gambling Hall. It's just an amazing experience. They actually have so the Hard Rock on the Vegas Strip has closed, not the Hard Rock Hotel, just the restaurant. And they have it has taken about $250,000. They are moving the Hard Rock sign to the Neon Museum and restoring it. I don't know if it's going to be done in time. However, it is just a sight to see. It is just the coolest place you'll ever go to. And if you could make some time, please go there at night.
I'm always surprised to hear people not liking Vegas. One of the things I really like about it is that there's something for everybody. I mean, and
Yes.
even for people that want to see something like in nature, I went to Red Rock Canyon. I don't know if you've been there, Ryan.
Yeah, that's where I did that photo shoot. Yeah, that's where I did that photo
Oh, really?
shoot.
I didn't see those rocks, but it's only like a 20-minute drive from Vegas. And for people that can't get to like Grand Canyon, obviously that's more grand. I thought it was great. I really liked that. You could spend the whole day there kind of hiking.
Yeah, you really can. Yeah. If you want to do a professional photo shoot, you have to get clearance from the government and the Parks Association. So I guess you just have to ask like Leslie Knope or something. But if you want to do anything commercial there, just know that you have to get a permit to do it.
And just before we wrap this up, I think, you're going to Vegas for education, to grow your business, but don't forget to go have some fun. And I think when I look back to my trips to Vegas, what sticks with me is the fun times I had with like fellow boothers and friends, right? You build bonds that way. You kind of start really learning from people on a one-on-one situation. I think you can even make a trip to our event and have some fun with your fellow boothers, learn from them, and build relationships that'll last longer. If there's one thing you should take from this show, all these relationships that I have with Ryan, with other people that you've seen on the show, really originated from the expo in Vegas. And I walked in not knowing anybody. So if you come in and now you can say you're a Super Booth listener, I think it gives you a starting point to start a conversation with people and build those kinds of relationships.
Thank you so much for joining us today. For information on Super Boothers The Boothover, our event in Las Vegas, please visit superboothers.com and click events, and tickets are available now. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.